Let's just get this out of the way. There will be mistakes.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I can read very well. Is how easy is it? How? Fuck me. Okay, so what? Uh, and I tell it I want to start the brew. I'll get back to you.
In fact, if you're looking for pro lighting, fancy edits, and perfect takes, well, you might just want to keep on scrolling. But with that said, over the last couple of years, we have had some success. Unfiltered, imperfect, and always learning. Now let's go brew something.
It's 5 in the morning. What the hell am I doing up? Today, we're going to brew an American wheat. Let's get started. This is an American wheat beer. I created this to really feature the hops against a nice, crisp, clean wheat backbone. So it is 52% Pilsner, 28% pale wheat malt, 12% to 13% flaked wheat, and then we bring in our color with about 7% Munich. Like I said, the hops are the star here. So we start off with about 11 IBUs of Magnum at 60 minutes. Then at 10 minutes, we bring in about 7% of Centennial, 7 IBUs of Centennial, and just under 6 IBUs of Cashmere. At the hop stand, we hit it again with some Centennial and some more Cashmere. And sometimes I dry hop. Sometimes, quite frankly, I forget to dry hop. So we'll see if we dry hop. We wrap all this together with some Lutra yeast. I know what you're thinking. I don't like Lutra. A lot of people say that, and then they taste the beer and they're like, "Oh, this is Lutra." So you should try it. It's there's a lot of controversy out there with Lutra. Is it a lager? Is it a faux lager? No, it's just a yeast. It's just a yeast doing its job, hanging out with its buddies, eating beer or eating wort and shitting out alcohol. That's what it does. It does it really well, and it does it at just about any temperature you want, and it does it clean. So you're gonna have, if you have a beer that you typically use, like a Brine 97 or a Chico yeast, Lutra is a great substitute, and you should really take advantage of that. So with that said, we are going to have a very low. We're going to have a balanced water load for calcium chloride. We're looking for right down the middle, and I think we have the water pulled about 32 liters in the tank, and I think it's time to get started. 2.5 kilograms of Pilsner. Now I know what you're thinking. Why Pilsner? Why not? I do have pale, but I typically keep Pilsner on hand, and I'm a firm believer in adjusting my recipes for my inventory, and that's why Pilsner. 1.34 wheat. I'm sorry, 1.34 kilograms of wheat. We're going to call that good enough. Get that Munich in there. 7.1 Munich. Okay, I stand corrected. 0.34 kilograms. It's 7%. Now let's hope that we have flaked wheat. There is no guarantee. Flaked oats, flaked oats, flaked oats, flaked oats, flaked oats, flaked rice, flaked oats. So, one of the things we learn when we brew is adapt and overcome. So we will not be using the flaked oats today. Or we will not be using the flaked wheats today. We have plenty of flaked oats. Always check your ingredients before you start. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to add a little bit more regular wheat, and it will be fine. I dare say it will be beer. The sun is out. It's going to be a beautiful day. We have reached our strike temperature. We're at 55 Celsius. We're going to run a few mash steps. So let's get that grain on in. And away we go. We have completed our mash schedule, and we're getting ready to pull the grains. And then we're going to come up to temperature. After I've had my second cup of coffee, it occurred to me that this is not going to be a 60-minute boil. This is going to be a 30-minute boil. So slight change there. So we're going to get the grains out, get the temperature up, and then get those 30-minute additions in. I'll see you soon. So I'm not doing a sparge today. I prefer to get all my water in the mash. I find it's best to just clean as you go. I don't know. Is it relaxing? Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the boil. It's time to get those hops in. A common misconception with the Grainfather chiller is that you have to pump it back into the kettle to bring the temperature down. Actually, this is a single pass, so you run cold water through it very quickly. Run the cold water through it very quickly, and that goes up, and then you have the wort that comes down, and as they pass, it transfers that heat, and it will pull this off in a single pass at about 24 Celsius. And I know for those of you who don't like Celsius, my apologies. This is just how I brew, which is I think what's 24. I think that's about 70, which is actually cool enough to take my sample with. Again, our target was 1041. We are at 26 degrees Celsius coming out of the chiller, and we are a little stronger than anticipated, 1044. At this point, if I wanted to, I could put another a liter in, and I could get that just right, but I'm okay with a 1044 for this one. So we're going to get that racked out, and then we'll get this cleaned up and we'll be done. Perhaps everyone's favorite part, the pitching of the yeast. Don't forget to sanitize your packet just in case. The beer is in the fermenter. We've pitched our yeast. We've added the tilt, and we've set the blow off. So I think all that we have left to do is a little cleaning. I'm probably going to speed ramp this. So I like to use the sprayer to create a little whirlpool, and any hop residue I have or shrub at the bottom, it just kind of pulls it right into the center of the false bottom. Makes cleanup a little easier. Well, I think that about wraps it up for today's brew day. I think I'm going to hold off and wait till I get this beer in the glass before I launch this video. So I guess I'll see you in, well, it's Lucha, so I might see you in about 4 or 5 days.
Okay, so that concludes our brew day. We are grain to glass. I'm going to do some talking notes about this beer real quick. A few things, good lessons from today's brew. One is that sometimes things don't go the way we want them to, and at the end of the day, we still have beer, and we have good beer. This beer specifically had a couple of issues. One of the issues we had was, as you recall, no flaked wheat. Didn't have a huge impact on a little bit of lighter body, not quite as much head retention as I'm used to on this beer. We also had an issue that I had audio issues that you guys didn't get to see this, but the hops that I had anticipated using were unavailable. I didn't have the cashmere, but I did have a packet of a dry yeast for this beer that I did previously, and it had the same ratio of hops, different amount. So I had to pull my software up and then back into what bitterness I wanted from those hops, and then change my time in boil to get it to the correct IBUs, because that's the hops I had. But we pulled the levers, we got it to work. So I'm gonna do some tasting notes on this beer. Aroma. Now, anytime you're tasting beer, you always want to start by getting your nose into it. There's aromatics that immediately start to leave the glass, and if you don't pick them up right away, you might not get them at all. I actually did a quick notes on my tasting, so I'm just gonna kind of go through these again. for the camera. So on the nose, I am getting a medium bready, almost doughy white bread. I'm getting just the low side of medium citrus. And I would say primarily in the nose, I get a lemongrass, a little bit of lime, and some tangerine. It's a really nice bouquet of citrus going on in the glass. It's clean fermentation. There's no notable off aromas coming out of the glass. No DMS, no acetaldehyde. Let's see what else. And I think that's all I have on the nose. I mean, overall, it smells kind of like wheat beer. As far as the flavor, it mimics what we're getting in the nose. I'm getting that breadiness. I'm like a medium breadiness. The lemongrass really comes through in the glass and on the tongue, and a little bit of the tangerine. The lime all but falls off in the flavor. As far as appearance goes, it is, I mean, we're going to call that mostly hazy. It's not like a hazy IPA hazy. It's rather clear for a wheat beer, but it's definitely appropriately hazy for a wheat beer. This poured with a thick, dense white head, but it did dissipate rather quickly, and I'm not used to that for this particular beer. Normally I have that flaked wheat in there, so that's definitely having a difference in the head retention. Let's see, colors, a deep straw. I don't know if the camera's getting that. It's almost gold, but it's more of a deep straw. Head dissipates quickly, obviously. If this was in a contest, that would be not great. Let's see, what else do we have? Mouthfeel, smooth, creamy, medium body, no astringency. Finish. So the bitterness on this beer is about 20 IBUs, maybe 25. I have to double check my math, my notes. But it's nice because the bitterness holds throughout the tasting. And then when you are finished with the glass, the bitterness just lingers a little bit on your tongue. Not a harsh bitterness, but a nice, clean bitterness that you would expect to get from an early edition of Magnum. And it's for a wheat beer, it's quite refreshing. So this is my tasting notes. This has been my grain to glass. I think I'm supposed to say something like, if you like what you see, subscribe, or what's the other thing? You comment. So my understanding is that making comments, subscribing, that kind of stuff does great things for the algorithm, and maybe we can get my 10 viewers up to 11 viewers. That would be a nice goal. Let's do that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you do, like I said, give me a comment. Let me know you like what I'm doing, and maybe on the next one we'll. Actually, I think on an upcoming video I'm going to do some tasting of the Rauch beer that I brewed last time. I've had a chance to get that into some competitions, and I've had some mixed reviews. It's gotten a gold, it's gotten a silver, and it's gotten a 22. So we haven't looked at the sheets yet. So we're gonna do that together. I'm gonna pull those score sheets up. I'm gonna go through the sheets and see just how much variety and variation we can have from the judging pool out here across the United States. So you guys have a great night, and we'll see you on the next one.